But you know what we do? Every morning, we recap you from your weekend sports, and we give you some scores, some updates, and all that other jazz. And then we get right into the flow of the show. So, like I mentioned to you when you seen the post, we have a guest in the building today. So we gonna make his transition today as smooth as possible. Again, anybody, when we get to that point, I will let everybody know. You know where we are. It's Facebook, the group page. It's a public group, so anybody can chime in and check out the group. Sports Rap Podcast. Sports Rap is all one word. Podcast is the second word.
Right.
So get over there and check it out, and you can get in tune with us. So real quick, we gonna jump right into these news. Jimmy Butler has signed a 4-year, $184 million extension to stay with the Heat. It's been a lot of money going on, spread around in a week. It's been a week of free agency. Free agency started last Monday.
Four, right?
So it's been a lot of money.
Right, floating around.
A lot of money floating around. I don't know where they get it from. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the wrong business.
Me too, exactly.
KD finally lead Team USA to the gold medal over France.
That gold.
The top basketball prospect currently in the United States, Jalen Duren, has committed to Penny Hardaway in Memphis.
Right.
Kirk Cousins' hometown hospital cuts ties with the QB over a vaccine stance.
Right.
So I'm guessing that Kirk Cousins is somewhere in the middle or doesn't want to get vaccinated, and I can understand why the hospital would cut ties, because that's their job,
right,
in the health and welfare field. So they're there to take care of people, and not being affiliated with you kind of clears them of people thinking that they could be in any type of risk or anything with using that hospital. A little bit of bad reputation and bad publicity. Tom Brady lashes out at the NFL Players Association for whatever reason. And everybody that's tuned in, you know how I feel about Tom Brady. So, I'm not going to get into too much of that. Japan blanks the United States baseball team in the gold medal game.
Yeah.
The Italian sprinter who set a record for the first Italian to win a sprint, Lamont Marcel, is now caught up in the middle of a PED controversy. Crazy, right? I'm anxious to see what happens with this situation because we all know where I'm going. We all saw what happened to our girl, Sha'Carri Richardson,
right,
who was not using a performance-enhancing drug. So we'll see how that plays out. I will definitely keep my ears to that story and let you know information as I receive it. NBA is put up investigations into the Lonzo Ball and the Kyle Lowry sign and trade deals. Allegedly, there's believed to be some tampering. And folks, if you don't understand or don't know what that means, is there are specific times when teams can begin to negotiate with players in free agency.
Right.
And it's like, for the business of the NBA, they are very, very precise and are sticklers for the rules in those situations. So basically what it is free agency started, I think, at 6 o'clock last Monday. So you can have ideas, but you can't make contact with any players who are involved in any deals with you until that point. And apparently there was some conversation, some dialogue between the teams and those players. So the NBA is investigating that right now.
Right.
Hopefully, for the sakes of some of those players like Kyle Lowry moving on, getting into a better situation, Philly native. Lonzo Ball also basketball-wise probably getting into a better situation. Hopefully things will go well for them and they can make those moves.
Right.
Pamela and JaVale McGee become the first mother and son duo to win gold medals in Olympic history.
That's great.
So shout outs to them, African American mother and son, both win gold medals in the Olympics. CJ McCollum of the Portland Trail Blazers has been named the new president of the NBA Players Association. Congrats to him. He was very, very involved with that organization, so it's good to see somebody like him become the new president. Legendary football Florida State coach Bobby Bowden dies over the weekend. He was 91 years old. The United States women win their 7th straight gold medal in basketball.
Right.
So with all the struggles we talked about last week and going into the Olympics this year about the men's team, maybe they should start practicing against the women's team, since the women just seem to get it done on a regular basis. The United States overall edges out China for most gold medals at the Olympics this year. Dawn Staley has decided to step down as the women's coach after leading them to their 7th gold medal.
Okay.
Sue Bird also is retiring from the Olympic play after winning her 5th gold medal.
Right.
Colts linebacker Darius Leonard has signed a 5-year, $98.5 million extension with the Colts, making him the highest paid linebacker right now in the NFL. RG3 has now signed a multi-year deal to join ESPN as a college football analyst.
Okay.
Josh Allen also signs an extension, $150 million to be exact, with $141.5 guaranteed, with an average salary of $43 million per year, second to only Patrick Mahomes at $45 million. And Isaiah Thomas, former Boston Celtics, the little guy who I love so much as a basketball player, scored 81 points in the crossover pro-am summer league.
81. Wow.
Folks, he is an NBA teams. He is a free agent. Sixers. He's just trying to look to get back in. I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem with taking the veterans minimum to prove himself. Could be a good look. We know what he can do on the court. All right. Finally, before we get into the meat, the MLB scores from Sunday. The Mets fall to the Phillies in a sweep, 3-0. They shut them out, and the Phillies are now 2.5 games in first place in the NL East. The Mariners blank the Yankees 2-0. The Rays defeat the Orioles 9-6. The Red Sox fall to the Blue Jays 9-8. Tigers fall to the Indians 7-5. The Reds edge out the Pirates 3-2. The Braves edge out the Nationals to stay close in the NL East race 5-4. The Twins over the Astros 7-5. Giants edge out the Brewers 5-4. The Royals Cardinals game was delayed. The Marlins get bombed by the Rockies 13-8. The Rangers fall to the Athletics 6-3. The Diamondbacks get blanked by the Padres 2-0. The Angels get beat up on a little bit by the Dodgers 8-2. By the way, the Dodgers are the next opponent for the Phillies. And the Cubs fall to the White Sox 9-3.
Right.
In other news and updates, since the Olympics are coming to an end, the WNBA will resume this Thursday. One game on that slate, the Sun and the Storm. NFL football has started with the Hall of Fame game. The Eagles preseason gets underway this Thursday as well, 7:30 on NBC 10. And Summer League basketball, the Sixers open up tonight in the Las Vegas Summer League, 4 p.m. today versus the Dallas Mavericks on NBA TV.
Right.
So folks, as always, welcome to another installment of the Sports Rap Podcast right here on Heat 100 Radio. And this is another installment of the interview series that we have just begun. Rosita Newton is tuned in. Thanks for watching. So
That's
today,
my mom. What's up, Mom?
see that? Mom is tuned in. So now I know you're gonna be relaxed now. Mom is tuned in. Mom, thank you for tuning in. She actually went on when you sent her the message. She went on and requested to join the group, which is great. So I appreciate that, Mom. And stay tuned. He's here. You can all, as you see, you can you can type comments in if you're watching this live on Facebook. And as always, we will read as many comments as we can get to. Also, just went a little bit overboard, a little bit extra. And today we have a phone line open today. So if any event that you would like to call in and talk to myself, talk to my guest, numbers 267-969-2583. I will be giving that number out throughout the show. So today we have in studio with us Ivan Robinson is tuned in. Ivan, I think you know this guy that's sitting here.
What's up, baby?
He says, what's up to you? So what's going on? And definitely, Ivan, I will definitely see you on Saturday. We have today a gentleman who I met through social media, but we had the opportunity to speak to one another, which I always like to do when I talk to people about the podcast. We had the opportunity to speak to one another prior to him being here today. And both of us were just on the same wavelength, same page. We just clicked when we talked. We were supposed to talk about setting up the video interview. we did that, but then we just started talking in general.
Right.
Some people we know, familiar friends, mutual friends, and just things in life that we've been through, both have been through, that we just clicked. So without further ado, some of you that are tuned in probably already know him because you see him. We know Mom knows him. But we have Brian here, owner, CEO of World God Squad Apparel, and elder in his church. He also has an event space, has a nonprofit, so he's very much involved in the community. And this is one of the things that we like to do here ourselves at Heat 100 Radio and the Sports Rap Podcast. We like to bring you sports as always, and I'll tell you a little bit down the road how sports ties into this as well. But we also like to bring on people, like we like to say, that look like us,
Right.
that are doing positive things with themselves and within their community.
Right.
We always like, like we like to say, we always like to give back.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, I feel in our communities, there's not enough give back.
Right.
So we like to use our platform to present people in our own backyards, in our own city,
Right.
that are giving back, that people can reach out to and help with the give back.
Right.
Because we all know how the city has been since the pandemic, before the pandemic, and continually.
Pretty much.
Because all the senseless gun violence and everything else that's going on. So we got to get our communities back. If we don't, we might end up, well, we already talking about it, we might end up in another pandemic and another lockdown.
Yeah.
But besides that, you feel like you're still locked down even when you're out now because of the way things are going.
Yeah.
So, Brian,
Yes,
how does it feel to be here live on the radio?
It feels
today?
great, man. You had me nervous, but now I'm good.
That's good. I'm glad.
Wayne and Frank brought me in, man. I'm
glad.
relaxed
Yes,
now.
sir. I'm definitely glad
Welcome,
that
man.
we got that out the way and the nerves are gone. And it's a great thing to have you here. Like I said, you were telling us before we went live, you had a lot of people calling you, a lot of people chiming in, tuning in.
Right.
And again, folks, the group is it's a public group. And again, if you're watching, you know, we'll get the alert that you're watching, but shoot us some comments and let us know what's going on and how you feel about what we're doing here today. And anything that you want to ask, if you have any questions, you know, you can type them in and we'll get to them on the air. So before we get started in talking about the business, Brian, give us a little bit of your background.
Well, my background, I come from Logan. I graduated from Simon Gratz in '88.
Wow.
I left Logan in, I want to say 92, 93. Went to Southwest Philly. Was heavy in the streets. Left Southwest Philly, went back up North Philly to 6 in York. That's my original roots. Was heavy in the streets. And I got a job. I got a job at a local hospital and became good friends with an old friend of mine who's wound up being a pastor, Dwayne Bowser. And he told me one thing. He said, God is on your life. You know what I mean? God is on your life. And I couldn't believe that he was a reverend because I knew him when he was in the streets.
Right.
So he invited me to church, and one day I just went. He said, just show up. And that was the day that really changed my life.
There you go.
Me showing up, that changed my life. God showed me what my plans should be. I struggled with it. You know, I still was out there, but God worked on me.
Right.
And Dwayne had a basketball team down at the hospital that I was at, and I got on the team, played on the team, and we won a couple of championships. But when we broke up, I wanted to still play, and that's where God Squad came from. That was the name of my team. It came from there, God Squad. And the 05-07 come from, that was 05 when I made that up, and we won the championship in 07. Creation equals victory. That's where I get that from.
So you can see that on his hat too.
Yes, yes.
Like that.
So you talked about you going to the church, and I already know the story, but just to give some of the people that might be tuned in that don't know, just give us the brief version that you told me about the church and the appearance of the people in the church when you went to the church.
When I got there, I seen a whole bunch of me's. everybody was like me.
Yeah.
We was raised on a different persona, perspective of who we was gonna see when we went to church. I got in there and saw everybody like me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I thank you for that. And just what he just said, the last word he said, you have a different perception,
Right.
persona of what church should be growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to bring that to the table to let people know that it's not always like that.
Right.
Like he said, he walked in there, you heard the story, he said he was heavy in the streets.
Right.
He walked into that church and he saw people that looked just like him.
Reflection of him. Yeah.
Just like him.
Mm-hmm.
So, people, it can happen.
Yeah.
Whatever way it's gonna happen,
We can have.
if you believe and you have faith, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta stick with it. Like we had a little brief conversation before we came on, and one thing I mentioned is a lot of people believe that not succeeding your first time around
Right.
it is a failure. You get down in the dumps in that. Don't get down in the dumps in that
Yeah.
because you'll have another shot.
Yeah.
But just take in mind the positives from that are the experience
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you automatically have the red flags, so you'll know what to look for
Next time.
the next time around, and
Absolutely.
you'll know how to get over those obstacles.
Yeah.
So you just told us how you came up with the name of the company, the Guy Squad for the basketball team in the 05 and
Nice
07.
name, like that.
How did you get the idea to make clothing?
Well, I was always into fashion,
Okay.
and I had the name. I said, let me put the name with the clothes,
Mm-hmm.
and ran with it.
Right.
I like representing myself, so I was
Absolutely.
wearing my Guy Squad. I said I might as well put it on. I'm wearing my own stuff.
Absolutely.
Right.
Nothing like doing that.
Self-employment.
A lot of people get caught up in the mainstream brands, and then you have some people that come up with brands and they wonder why they struggle a little bit.
Right.
But sometimes I think it's because you might not wear enough of your stuff. Like
You gotta like your own
honestly,
brand.
yeah,
You have to love your own brand.
Like one of the people that I got that from is Snoop Dogg, and I'm not sure if he still has his clothing line now or whatever. But one of the things he mentioned when he was interviewed and talking about his clothing line, he said that he wears his own stuff.
Right.
And like they say, word of mouth is the best
Go a long
advertising.
way.
So people seeing it
Yeah.
is the best advertising.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta feel comfortable in your own skin and in your own brand.
Right.
You have to market your own brand. Just like Frank, you know, every time I'm out, I try to wear some sports brand.
You always do.
Anywhere I
More
go,
than me.
I try to wear some sports
Right.
brand. So you gotta have the brand. You
Yeah.
have to brand yourself.
Yeah.
And
It
what
speaks
better
for
way
itself.
what better way to advertise?
If yourself.
And people, that's free advertising.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
Free advertising.
So really,
you
you're
all
killing
know,
your
when you
own
know anything
business
about
by
the
not doing
business,
it. Yeah.
it's gonna cost you a little bit of change to advertise, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Killing
when you
yourself.
wear your own and you promote your own,
Yeah. You
it's
don't gotta
free
say a word out your
advertising.
mouth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good stuff.
In the process, or how was the process when you decided to actually fully transition over and create the whole brand?
The process wasn't that hard because, like I said, I love wearing what I make, so I just was rocking it.
Right.
People was like, "Let me get that. Let me get a shirt. Let me get it." All right, let's
Right.
run with it then.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and you know that's one of the best ways. Like I said, when you wear it, people ask questions. Like me personally, I'm a t-shirt fanatic.
Yeah.
So anybody that knows me will know that you very rarely see me with a t-shirt with nothing on it.
Right.
Designs, athletic wear, whatever. I always have something on it.
Right.
But I'm very much into design, like you said, not so much the fashion, I guess that is fashion, but the design and things that are different.
Right.
So that's what made me reach out. Just as on Instagram, I saw the designs and I saw the Guy Squad.
Right.
Even not knowing what it fully was, but the merchandise that I saw, the designs that I saw,
Right.
was something that I would wear, something
Right.
that was different.
Right.
And I knew that it would catch people's eye.
Right.
So when I'm walking around, like people look at my shirt. Like I was in the store the other day, and I forget what shirt I had on, but I'm walking around, and every person that came past me, not too many people asked what it was,
Looked at it.
but everybody was looking and
Right.
trying to read the shirt as
Yeah.
I'm walking by.
Yeah.
So again, if you're inspired to do this,
Mhm.
you got to do your stuff. You got to do you.
Yeah.
And you have to promote your stuff.
Mhm.
Were there any challenges when you
It's
started out?
always challenging.
Mhm.
Oh, why this person don't want to buy my stuff? Why they not asking me for nothing? You know, it's always challenging.
Always.
But I look at it like the women buy more than the men.
Absolutely.
they
Absolutely.
buy it. They want it.
Yeah.
But I look at it like in due time, everybody stuck on the name brands, the Gucci's and the Louis.
Yep.
So you gotta mix it up. I got
Makes
guys
sense.
squad on Gucci.
Mhm.
You gotta mix it up.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. So, how has your progress been since you started?
The progress been great. Since I started the clothing line, I made it into my nonprofit. So that's where the nonprofit name comes from. World God Squad Creation Equals Victory.
Okay.
So I'm a run with it on in that, but it was a great transition.
Right.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about the other businesses that you run. You have a nonprofit, like you said, and you also have an event space. I know pretty much the gist of the event space. Tell us a little bit about the event space and what type of events have you held, and what type of events do you intend to hold?
Yes, Brown and Rose event and catering space is mainly my wife's business, but we got the name, my name and her name together. Her name is Helen, so Brian Lynn, and both our mother names is Rose.
That's good.
So how can we, Brown and Rose?
Yeah.
And that comes from her cooking. She's the best cook I ever met, besides my aunt that passed, my Aunt Val, but she cooks great.
Cooks, huh?
Yeah,
So
she
next
gets
time we
down.
have you up there, we're gonna have to add some
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese,
Yes, for sure.
Some meatloaf.
Yeah.
And we got the space, and we do weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, you name it, we have it. Meetings, business meetings, whatever, we have it.
Cool. So, like I mentioned, I talked to you a little bit about Monica. Shout out to her, owner of the station. Simply Monica. If you don't know her, you need to just go to all of her
That's my girl.
social media sites and check her out. Runs multiple things. And in my opinion, is always busy, even when she looks like she's not busy. So for you, how is it running multiple business?
It's an everyday busy process.
Listen to this.
Every day, all day.
Right.
It was not one thing, it's another.
Right.
So what you do, you have to love it. You have to love what you do. If that's what you want to make that money, then you gotta go make the money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We have the cooking. I love the clothes. I love helping these youth. So that's what the nonprofit comes from. I want to change these Philly streets. We gotta start somewhere. There gotta be a change.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
So it's a lot of brothers out here advocating for this change, and I'm gonna jump in and help too also. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Hey, D, can I ask him a quick question? I promote white parties, and I haven't done anything since the pandemic. So make a long story short, not take too much of the time. My question to you, D. I started a cookie business like a couple years ago. I only did like 3 sales. So the question, like D was saying, how can I juggle? Like after I finish get my first house and all.
Cookie or cooking?
It's cookie business.
Cookies?
Yeah, like cookie, but like college kids. I got that. I'm an Uber driver.
Keep making cookies.
So here's what it was.
When they get in your Uber, pass out some cookies.
So one of the clients gave me a business because until I buy property, I want like how can I make money with the students? They love to eat cookies around final time. So me and Sheena, we bake cookies like sugar cookies and all. So real quick, that promoting parties, and I almost also buy Airbnb in a couple years. So real quick, juggling all these businesses, what can I do to like be successful while going crazy?
Make your you gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
You gonna make them cookies.
Right.
Pass them out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Till you gonna get offers. Let me. How much some cookies? Where I get the cookies from?
Right.
Somebody it's the opportunity is gonna be there. Somebody gonna want them cookies.
Yeah, my white party like once a year. I just do that event like once a year.
We'll have a cookie party.
Oh wow.
Have a cookie party.
Right. Okay.
Random cookies.
Okay.
Get them out there.
Well, thanks, man.
So, how do you feel your line fits in with other people doing the same type of lines, and what do you think makes your line stand out?
That's a good one. I don't want to fit in. I want to stand out. God squad. God told me to do this. This is coming from the Lord.
Right.
That's my bag. We don't fail. We have victory. Creation equals victory.
There you go. I like
So
that.
everything I create is going to come to pass. Success.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I walk and stand on it.
No doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely. So in the promotion, and you saw Brian, and everybody else that noticed and saw, I saw that there is a boxer, Tsunami Sam.
Mm.
How did you guys link up, and how did you get to be the uniform supplier for him?
Well, I met Tsunami when I was working. He knows my trainer. He knows my trainer boxers. My trainer is Marty Smith. Hottie Boxers Incorporated. He trains me, and he knew one of the trainers, and I was like, "You box?" He was like, "Yeah, I know Keenan. Keenan is Marty's brother. He boxes, Killer Keenan, and Donald Love Smith."
Okay.
So once he told me he knew them, I was like, well, you know, when next time we fight, I'll come. And he had a fight, and he came, and he said, oh yeah, I like it. He lost his family, so he's in the guy, pretty heavy too. He lost his whole family in the fire.
Wow.
And he said, can you make me one of my outfit? I said, no problem. And I made him, and he had a good fight that night too when he wore that. You know what I mean? Yes.
So, where do you see your line in the next couple of years?
Victory. Wherever God take it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
However it come, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Whoever wear it will be blessed though when it comes to the clothes.
Right.
Absolutely.
I like that.
It's a walking blessing.
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it is. So there you have it, folks. We got that all out the way. So now that we are assured
Right.
that Brian is comfortable and relaxed, and
Good. We're doing good.
like you said, like he mentioned, he played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So we do sports here. So we are going to get into some sports.
Mm-hmm.
I got some topics that we're going to talk about, and we're going to get his insight on some of these things when we come back. So right now we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take our first break, official break of the day.
Yes, sir.
But before I take that first break, I got to remind you, September the 5th,
Oh yes, I'm going back.
Sunday before Labor Day. I know you've seen the posts. I know you've seen them because you commented on them, you liked them. The 7th year anniversary for Heat 100 Radio. It's probably 6 for the Sports Rap Show, so we 1 year behind, but we right in the mix.
I'm in the building.
7-year anniversary.
Sir.
And you all know what happened on July 4th
Mm-hmm.
at Lou and Choose.
Right.
You know how that went down. This time around, I don't know if anything is
Triple
going
that.
to match this.
MC Light.
You got the incomparable MC Light.
I'm taking pictures of her.
Who catering this event?
Also performers, Philly legends, Philly female legends,
Wow.
Miss Jade and Nina Ross. All brought to you by
jealous.
Simply Monica. Monica Mason, Simply Monica.
Yes, sir.
Simply Monica 72 is most of her handles. I am Simply Monica.
Boss lady.
And Heat 100 Radio, the boss lady
Awesome.
here.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you tuned in to the Heat 100 Radio. Get your tickets. If not, you can check the post. Check Simply Monica. Get on Eventbrite. Get your tickets. $40 for general admission. $75 for VIP.
VIP.
And I keep telling people in every post,
Works it.
you can get in the building.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. We'd love to have you. But you won't want to get in the VIP section. So with that being said, we're going to take our first break, and in homage to one of our special guests on that day, listen to Cappuccino by MC Light. We'll see you on the other side in just a couple minutes.
They did. How much for us?